Hey everyone, it's Phoenix. Today I am going to talk about an add-on that I have made recently and have recently updated called EZReport. And as you can see in the background, this add-on has to do with reporting bots. I made this add-on to make it as easy as possible and as quick as possible to mass report the bots in the game, so that hopefully ZeniMax will again prioritize, actually doing something about it and getting in and permanently banning these people who are ruining the immersion and the economy for everyone else that's actually paying for the service. So basically what this add-on in a nutshell will let you do is set a hotkey that you can just hit to bring up the last targeted character in the reporting interface. It lets you automatically select a category, and it fills in all of the data for the reason for you. You can manually change this. You can also set this in the options as well, which I'll get into later, to automatically fill in this. It will show their character name, their account name, the map and subzone if there was one you reported them in, the map coordinates, the timestamp that you reported them, a list in descending order from newest to oldest of all the previous times you reported them, and it automatically fills that all in. So basically all you have to do is hit a hotkey and hit submit. There's some options that make that a little more easy. You can have this auto select different categories, as I said. I'll get into the options in a bit. The main thing about this add-on that makes it really efficient, though, is that there's an option in the settings. When I get into that, I'll show it. But it's a cooldown that lets you report. It lets you set to only let you report a given bot once per day. And once you've reported that bot in a day, it won't bring up that reporting interface if you target them and hit it again, which is the whole point of this add-on is to save time. It lets you just mash that reporting button over a group of bots, and you'll know that you're never reporting the same one twice. So you can stand at a distance also, which is really cool. You don't have to be up close to them, which there's also a risk that people are going to think you're one of the bots and report you by accident. You can stand way the heck back so long as you can target them and hit that button. And so just to show you how quick and easy this makes it before I get into the database functionality of it and how to browse all of your previous reports in the UI that I just added, I'm going to go ahead and report this group to show you how quick it is. So in my options, I've auto-selected botting because that's really all I report for. So all I do is just I move my mouse over a group that I know are bots, hit the button, bring up the interface, hit submit. All that information is populated, and so now I can go and mash them again, hit submit. And I don't have to worry about who I'm targeting in that group because I know that it's not going to let me report the same one twice in a day. When the day rolls over to the next day, I can report them again, obviously, but I know that I can that I'm only reporting individuals. So basically, I don't have to worry about wasting my time by reporting the same ones multiple times. So I just follow them for a second here, make sure I've got them all. Mash the button in the group. So at this point I've already reported all these guys. I'm done. And this is another one that's obviously this guy up here is another one. I don't know if I got him yet. Yep, I got him already. So I think I got everyone in the group. So that should pretty much cover it. Yeah, and there's one little straggler that got caught on a branch or something. And so that's how easy it is. You basically just follow these guys around and just hit the button, and then once you've got them all, it won't come up anymore, and you know you're done. So it saves you time. It makes it easy to report these people, and the more people report these guys to ZeniMax, the more they have to do something about it. But it's just that they made reporting bots such a pain in the ass with a little circle interface and being right up next to them that most people don't even bother to waste the enormous amount of time it takes to report these guys. But with this add-on, it makes it real easy and real quick, and so everybody needs to download this add-on and start reporting all these guys all the time to ZeniMax. And also, and I'm going to get into this in a second here, if you see that there's a particular bot that's been there for months and months, go into the UI that I made and text copy the history, which I have an option, and I'll go ahead and might as well just show you that now. And text copy the options, the data about that character, and then log into your account on their on ZeniMax's website for the game and put in a trouble ticket there. and manually paste all of that history and say, why are you guys not doing anything? I've been reporting this guy for literally months and he's still in the same place, ruining the game and the economy, and I'm a paying customer and I expect better service than that. So that's something I encourage people to do as well. But basically, this is the interface. I should go into a couple quick settings here. In your controls, you have an option to set some keybinds. The main one, obviously, is going to be the one that reports. So you want to set report last target to a keybind that's easy to reach. There's also a keybind to open that window to show the report history. You can also set a keybind to output the report history of a target in your chat. So if you see the little, so as you can see, there is also an option under their name. You see that little robot head and the timestamp in green. That is this add-on showing you the last time you reported them and what reason it was for. The color is something you can set in the options, and so I'll get into that in a second, but you can also target those characters when you see that, and if you have set this keybind, it'll dump their report history to chat. So those keybinds are under EZReport bindings. It might be under standard keybinds if you don't have the add-on that puts a separate category for add-ons, but it's EZReport bindings, so look for that and get those set. And then if you go into the add-on settings, the main thing you always want to leave on is reporting cooldown. This is what makes it so that you can mash the report button on a group of bots and never get the same one twice in a day. And so I always leave that on, that way I can not waste my time reporting the same ones multiple times. And usually I leave chat off, just because I don't like to see the spam. If you have this on, every time you hit, and it's just on by default so that people, when they're just downloading the add-on and maybe haven't looked in the options to know what it's capable of, see a little chat indicator saying that the reason you're not getting the report interface to come up is because you already reported this bot and you have the reporting cooldown option on. And you'll see that, can't report again because the cooldown option's on you already, blah, blah, blah. Just to let you know, but you can turn that off so that you don't see that every time you hit the report button on a target you've already reported in that day. This is the option for that little thing, the green robot head and the timestamp under the character's name that you've reported in the past. You can turn that off. You can turn the timestamp part of it off individually or together if you don't want to see that at all. But I find it to be handy. You can also change the color of the different categories of reasons. Cheating by default is green. That's why the robot head and the text was green. But like harassment or toxic behavior is sort of like an orange color. You can change all those colors in here to make them whatever you want. You can also clear out the whole database from here of every character in every report, but that's just like sort of a last resort, or if you're updating the add-on from a really old version. But you can delete individual entries from the database from the UI, which I'll cover in a second. You can change the timestamp format. This is the format that gets recorded mainly for the UI. So when you actually click on it and you're looking at, and you can switch between text edit mode, and I'll show you that in a second. This is the timestamp, the January 22nd, 2018. This right here, where it says AM and PM, that is the 12-hour format. You can switch that, so instead of AM PM, it is 24-hour time, so the hours are 1 to 23. With no AM or PM. If you're in Europe or other places that use that format, or you just prefer that format, so you could turn this off if you wanted to use 24-hour format instead of AM PM. This I would always leave on. This is where when you go into the reporting interface, this option is what will auto fill in also the history of the character reporting. So this really, you would always want to leave that on because there's no downside, but it will list all the previous times you reported that character and what account ID they were using when you reported them. It'll auto include that in the auto generated report when you go and send that. So that's a good option to always leave on. Also, when you bring up the report interface, I like to set a default category to select for me so I don't have to worry about selecting cheating, because like I said, I always am really only reporting bots. I mean, you could set it to none and manually select it yourself, but if you don't choose a category, it's going to get the generic icon, so you'll have to remember to set a category. But I just leave this on cheating. This is the reason in the text field, and it'll fill that out too depending on what you select here. Manual just leaves it blank and lets you fill it in. But I like to select botting that way because that's all I really report for. I literally don't have to do anything in the reporting window other than hit submit, which is kind of how I like it. So those are the options. Um, and then you have the user interface. And this is where you can look at all of the history of everyone you've ever reported. And you can view it by account ID, because obviously account IDs can have multiple different characters. You can view it by character and click individual characters' histories. Always it's sorted from the newest report to the oldest, so you always see the newest stuff at the top. And there's you can view it in two different modes. This is the database edit mode. As you can see, it's saying you can click to delete selected entries. This button here will toggle to text mode, where you can actually, if you hover over here, it's going to tell you, click to show the summary, click in the result field and hit Control A to select all, Control C to copy, and then you can go into like Notepad or your email or a support ticket on their website, on ZeniMax's website, and Control V this to paste it. So you can copy this, all the reporting history for a given character or account, and paste this into a support ticket or into Notepad for whatever, and see that entire history. And you can easily switch between the database edit mode and the text copyable mode. And then when you're in the database editing mode, if you wanted to delete individual entries, all you have to do is just click on it. It's going to ask you, are you sure you want to delete? You can say no. If you delete it, it'll just remove it from the list. So you can edit the database manually that way. You can view it by zone, so you can see like everything for the zone that you are and this I've only reported from a couple zones, but obviously as you use the add-on there will be more and more zones that you've reported in, and this is all of the characters that you reported in that zone, again from oldest to newest, always at the top. Makes it real easy to kind of browse through everything you've ever reported. So this interface, again, the main reason for this is to be able to identify, bots that have been here for like months on end, when you've been reporting them and they're still there. I would encourage people to go into the text mode, copy this data, go onto ZeniMax's website, log into your account, start a new support ticket there, and copy all this information and say this character and this account ID I've been reporting, and here's the history of all the reports that I've sent you guys, and they're still there. So, can we expect as paying customers that at some point you guys are going to, care enough about the quality of this top dollar service that you're providing to get in there and pay attention to these reports and maybe hire a GM or two to actually go and do something about it? The more people that take the time to bug ZeniMax about why they're not doing anything about this, the more they're going to be, pressed into actually doing it, because it'll start being, cost ineffective not to. I also encourage people to write into websites that do gaming reviews, any of the big MMORPG gaming review sites, and tell them about this problem and that ZeniMax is just making so much money, but they're just not investing any of it back into the quality of the service because they're just letting botting run rampant, in 2018 after the game's been out for more than 4 years now, which is unacceptable for a AAA game title that's charging top dollar for their product. It's just absolutely shameful, and people need to be made aware of it. Go to forums, gaming forums, post it on there, post a link to the add-on on there. Go to Reddit, go to the official website, post about it, post links to the add-on. Get as many people using this add-on as possible, because one, it makes it really, really easy to report stuff. Two, it keeps the records so that you have a data trail of all the times that you can prove that ZeniMax is not doing anything about it, and copy this and paste it into support mails to get ZeniMax to actually, address the why of they're not doing anything about it. And three, it's better for everyone that the game be rid of bots. It ruins immersion and it ruins the economy. By participating, by making this real easy, this is my way of contributing to a solution instead of just complaining about the problem. This is a tool that makes it really easy for people to not have to waste their time and report all these bots in a matter of seconds, as opposed to sitting there and hassling with it. And after doing that for a day, you get sick of it. But with this, it almost makes it, for me, like I enjoy reporting bots now because I can go into my database, and see this really cool history that tells me, all of the reports that I've sent, and it keeps track of that. So I can go in here and say like, wow, I've done a lot of work to try and make this game better, just by reporting all these people, and it was really easy to do. And I think that if more people use this, ZeniMax will again start prioritizing getting rid of these bots, and it's in their interest financially, because if you ban these bots permanently, which is what they should do, because technically that's, the terms of service would dictate that's what is the penalty for what they're doing. If they ban these characters permanently, it's going to make the game better for everyone. The quality of service will appear higher, so people will feel better about spending money to invest in the game when they're confident that anything is being done to reinvest that money into the quality of the service they're providing. So it's going to make existing customers happy, and there's going to be more loyalty to the game, which is good for the long-term profits for the game. And also, those bots are going to have to buy new accounts to get back into the game if they want to keep cheating. So again, it's in ZeniMax's financial interest to hire a couple minimum wage GMs to, ban these bots. And the only way we're going to get them to actually do that is to spread this kind of, these tools, to actually get more people using a cool add-on like this that gives them all these tools to not have the burden be on the player to waste their limited time in the day they have to play, to make them able to, send a huge amount of data to ZeniMax in seconds that will pressure them into having to do something about it. And I would encourage, again, everybody to send in, after you've used the add-on for a while, send in the reports of the characters who've been there for months doing it, directly through the website. And I think that by doing that, we can get rid of these obnoxious cheating bots once and for all. So that is EZReport. I do hope you enjoy the add-on as much as I do. Like I said, it actually is fun almost to report bots now. I will link the download in the description. It's on ESOUI.com. If you have any questions or suggestions, feel free to leave them here or on ESOUI, and I would be happy to address them. So thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoy the add-on and have fun.